Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Wa kafa wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil mursaleen. Sayyidina wa nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa ashabi ajma'een. Wa man sanna sunnatahu wa ihtada bihadihi ila yawmiddin amma ba'd. Fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. لقد كان لكم في رسول الله أسوة حسنة لمن كان يرجو الله واليوم الآخر وذكر الله كثيرا. صدق الله العظيم. My dear and respected brothers and sisters in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My dear brothers and sisters, there is one very well known ayah of Quran, and that is that Allah in Surah Al-Ahzab have said that verily in Rasulullah sallallahu you will find a very beautiful example. Uswatun hasana. Uswa means example, hasana means beautiful. But those people will like the example of Rasul sallallahu liman kana yarjullah. That person who loves Allah, he will love Rasul sallallahu. And a person who is preparing for his meeting with Allah, liman kana yarjullah wal yawm al akhir. And the person who is preparing to meet Allah one day, that person will remember Allah excessively, and he will find in Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam the most beautiful example to follow. So this ayah is in Surah Al-Ahzab. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam set examples for us in every aspect of life. The example of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is not confined to Salah, Zakat, Hajj and Saum only. But the example that Rasulullah set for you and me is prevailing over every facet of our life. And here, my dear brothers and sisters, today I would like to draw your attention to one important aspect of our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam life, and that is social activities. How Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam set an example for you and me to be socially, and I will include politically active. Social and political. How important it is for you to be politically active and socially active. First example that I would like, and remember, Uswatun Hasana, right? Remember this ayah. Uswatun Hasana, the most beautiful example. So under the light of this ayah, look into few examples from Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam life. Number one, who among you can tell me in which year did the battle of Trench took place? The Khandaq. Huh? Okay, 5th. Right? Actually, Zakiba, it was 4th. 4th. If my memory is right. Because second was Badr, Uhud, then Khandaq. Anyhow. Okay. What Khandaq means? Trench. Digging a trench. Rasulullah sallallahu with the help from 3,000 Sahaba dig a huge trench. It was 10 feet deep. 10 feet deep and 10 feet wide. And it went from one end of Madinah Munawwara to the other end. So it was nearly 10 miles long. Right? Well, Rasulullah divided the work. Rasulullah made each group of Sahaba consisting of 10 Sahaba. So there were 300 groups. Each group had 10 Sahaba. So this work was huge. But because there were so many Sahaba, 3,000, so all of them worked together to dig that trench. Now this concept of digging a trench was a novel idea, a new idea. In Arabia, there was no concept of digging a trench. Rasulullah got this idea from an Irani Sahabi, a Sahabi who had accepted Islam, and he was from Iran. And we know his name, right? Salman Farsi. Faris means Iran. So Salman Farsi, he gave this idea to Rasulullah that these enemies are coming and they are 10,000 in numbers. 10,000. So we have some time to prepare. So why don't we dig a trench? This way their horses will not be able to jump over the trench and there will be no war. Right? So Rasulullah liked this idea. And Rasulullah said to Salman that yes, I like this idea. Let's start digging a trench. Question to you, brothers, is why Rasulullah dug the trench? Al-ayadu billah. Didn't Rasulullah had belief in Allah, that Allah, inna Allah ala kulli shayin qadir, that Allah is all powerful, Allah will protect me and my Sahaba? Why did he do that? Didn't he trust Allah? He should have been in Masjid al-Nabawi praying 2 rakat of salah, and Allah could have done anything for Rasulullah, isn't it? Just like you and me think that we don't have to do anything, Allah will take care. These days, this is the problem of Muslims, that we don't want to do anything. We leave everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then build your iman and Allah will take care. So that's why Muslims don't do anything. Neither are we politically active nor socially active. Because we think Yahud and Nasara and all these people, Allah will take care of them. I just have to be a good Muslim, and the definition of good Muslim is that I was not praying Salah, now I am praying Salah, so I'm a good Muslim. Right? Question to you, brother, is that why Rasulullah dug this trench? Rasulullah did have tawakkul upon Allah. Second question is that why Rasulullah did not wait for the wahi to come? Allah did not order Rasulullah to dig the trench. A very important point to note. Allah did not order Rasulullah to dig the trench. It was the idea of Rasul after consultation with Sahaba. Now this is Uswa Hasana. Beautiful example of Rasul. The Rasulullah made decision based on the need of the time. Need of the time. Nobody had ever dug trench before, I'll repeat. Rasulullah did it. Why? Because that was the best idea that the Rasulullah got. So remember this point, right? Now, what happened? What was the outcome of the Battle of Khandaq? We say Battle of Khandaq, but the battle never took place. Because when these 10,000 warriors from Makkah came and they saw this huge trench, they were helpless. Their horses, their camels, they could not jump over such wide trench. And after 1 month of waiting, right, one day Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent a huge sandstorm and their tents went flying. There was dirt in every pan of food, right? So they got frustrated, disgusted, and they left for Makkah. So this battle actually never took place, right? But till now, we remember this battle as the Battle of Trench, right? So remember this point, the Rasulullah dug that trench without a wahi from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no ayah in Quran in which Allah had instructed Rasulullah to dig that trench. Second point that I would like you to please pay attention to is the fact that our Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent as a Nabi to mankind, right? But in Madinah Munawwara, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is a Nabi and a politician. Nabi and a politician. He is the head now. The whole city of Madinah Munawwara is under the leadership of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not only that, but when Rasulullah left this world, for 30 years there was Khilafat. Abu Bakr, Umar, Usman and Ali. And after that, we all know Banu Abbas, Banu Umayyah, and then Muslim dynasties came and went. But the Rasul of Allah sallallahu in Madinah Munawwara is busy, among other things, establishing the foundation of Islamic politics and Islamic dynasties to come. And we all know how Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam was able to defeat those enemies of Islam without any war, through political moves. And Rasulullah was able to establish the first Muslim government in Madinah Munawwara. Then after the Fath of Makkah, the victory of Makkah, this when Islam spread, with it the dominance of Islam politically spread, right? So as a result, we see that in the very first century Hijri, Islam was in Spain, was knocking on the doors of Europe, in Spain. And in Spain, they were ruling. They were ruling. Why? Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam set the example in Madinah Munawwara, right? And we were in Spain for nearly 600 plus years. And that was such a nice time in Spain when Muslims were ruling. My dear brothers and sisters, my question to you is that when we talk about Uswa Hasana, why is it that we always confine the example of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam to acts of ibadat? We are always sitting and learning whether Rasulullah used to put his hands here or here or here, or he doesn't used to fold his hand in salah. Why is it that our scholarship is limited to just debates on some petty issues? Ameen bil jahr. After Surah Al-Fatiha, Rasulullah used to say Ameen out loud or in his heart. How Rasulullah used to pray Salatul Taraweeh. You know, a big issue is that in Ramadan we are always fighting 8 rakahs or 20 rakahs. I mean, why is it that we have confined ourselves to acts of these ibadat only, when the canvas of Islam is so vast and so big? When the Uswa Hasana of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam is so vast, we stop there. We stop after Salah. That's it. After this, Rasulullah is not Uswa Hasana. As a result, if you are running, let's say, for Congress or for Senate, or to become a mayor of a small city or county or something lower than that, Muslims do not come out to help that candidate. Why? Because they say he's going into politics. He has nothing to do with deen. That's his problem. Muslim candidates are struggling to get support from their local masjids, from their local Muslim communities, because none of us think that supporting a Muslim candidate or a candidate, whether he's Muslim or not, who is standing for good and moral and ethical issues, we must support him. No, nobody comes. Only when a masjid is being built, we give donations. Only when an Islamic school is being built, we give donations. This is the same mistake which Muslims 900 years ago did in Spain, and they were finished. As a result, you go to Spain today, you see those big masjids, those beautiful gardens that Spanish Muslims made, right? But then after that they were wiped off the earth. There were no more Muslim, and they were killed. What I see, and I become very frustrated when I introduce, let's say, a Muslim candidate who is running for office, Congress, and then you see these people backbiting. Then why is this person running? I'm not going to support him or her. Right? I'm going to give that money only to the masjid, because if I give to the masjid, I will be rewarded. And after that, this is all rubbish. At that time, we don't look into the uswa hasana of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We don't realize that, our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam showed to us how important it is to be socially active and how important it is to be politically active. You don't consider politics as part of deen. I do not know why. When did this cancer of weird thoughts peeped into our mind that now Muslims are living in US for 70, 80 years? How many congressmen and women are there in US Congress? You know how big is the group of congressmen and women in the Congress? 536. 536. Right now we have three Muslim candidates, three Muslim congresswomen, and not a single Muslim congressman. In US Senate, there are 100 senators, right? Not a single Muslim senator. You are living here, but you don't want to participate in politics. Again, because you think that politics is not Islam. Think about it, brothers. Wrong way. Wrong way. Study the Siratul Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam to learn from it. When you are reading any book or listening to the Siratul Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, put your preconceived or old notions about Siratul Nabi aside. Put new glasses and read the Siratul Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in a way to learn how Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did all that. A big problem with you and me is this concept of tawakkul. It has become a problem now. The wrong concept of tawakkul. وَعَلَى اللَّهِ فَلْيَتَوَكَّلِ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ. Right? Many years ago, and this sums up our mentality. Many years ago, maybe 15, 16 years ago, I remember a hurricane was coming to Florida. The forecast was really ugly, huge. So in the masjid, after a certain salah, I just read the advisory, right? That was issued by the weather department or some department, I don't remember it. So I read it. And I encourage people to just protect themselves. Just protect themselves by doing these things that advisory said. After the announcement, I remember one particular brother came to me and he said, Imam, I wish you had not read that advisory. I said, why? You should have just told people to pray 2 rakats of salah, Allah will take care of it. I was speechless. I was speechless. I was disgusted. I said, what kind of deen is this? What kind of deen is this? That's not the deen that Rasulullah ﷺ brought. Of course we'll pray 2 rakats of salah. Of course we'll make dua to Allah. Brother, when you make dua to whom do you make dua? Allah only, right? We are all making dua to Allah. We are all teaching the sunnah of Rasulullah, that Rasulullah used to make this certain dua when hurricane would come to Medina Munawwara. But tawakkul doesn't mean not doing anything. Go back to the example that I told you about Khandaq, trench. Let me repeat one more time. Wahi did not come to Rasulullah to dig a trench, right? Rasulullah still dug the trench. He did not sat down and said, just pray 2 rakat of salah and make dua and Allah will take care of it. No, he did sallallahu whatever he could do, and then tawakkal Allah. First do whatever you can do, then have trust upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are not doing anything and still trusting Allah, that is not tawakkul. That is not the right kind of tawakkul. And let's go back to that famous hadith of Rasulullah in which Rasulullah himself defined tawakkul, trust. Rasulullah said, "I'qilha wa tawakkal." I'qilha wa tawakkal. First tie your camel, then trust Allah. Here Rasulullah did not flip it, that first trust Allah, then tie your camel. No. First do whatever you can, and that is tying your camel. Right? Tie your camel. First do whatever you can. And after you have done everything, then say, Allah, I trust you that now you will protect. And like in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala defined tawakkul by saying, فَإِذَا عَزَمْتَ فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ. Azamta means after you have done whatever you can, then trust Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So my dear brothers and sisters, it is very important for you, if you want to live in this world, in this country, with izzah, with dignity, along with being a practicing Muslim, you must get involved in your community socially and politically. If you are not involved socially and politically, chances are that a time is going to come when either your children or your grandchildren, they will become murtad, they will leave. I'm saying they will leave Islam, because no community can live for a long time when they are being picked upon by others, when they are brutalized, when they are looked down upon. You can bear that. But by the time your children will take your place and you have left this world, your children might get frustrated because they are powerless. They don't have power. And then your grandchildren, they might not like this kind of stigma that is attached to them, that they are poor Muslims. No, my dear brothers and sisters, we have to be strong. Wherever we are living, we have to be strong. Just get, and when I say strong, I don't want you to do anything which is against the law. Within the law, you can do wonders. You can do wonders. But get involved. Don't live for yourself. Live for the ummah, live for the people. Allah in the Quran have said that you have been sent in this world to serve people, not to serve yourself. If you left $10 million, $100 million, and after your death, people will find out that mashallah, he left so much wealth, so much real estate, so much everything. Brothers and sisters, that will matter nothing. What will matter is, what did you do for others when you were living? Allah in the Quran have said, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnas, not li anfusikum. You are the best nation that have been sent to serve people, linnas. You have been sent to serve people. Why do you expect people to serve you? And remember, if you are not serving people, you are not fit for leadership. Those who serve people, they have the right to be the leaders. And this is exactly what our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said. He said, Sayyidul Qawm Khadimuhum. Khadimuhum. A person who will do khidmat, who will serve people, he has the right to be the leader. So globally, Muslims don't have the right to be the leader of the world because they are not serving the people. They are expecting the world to serve them. So you don't have the right over leadership of the world. Rasulullah ﷺ told Sahaba to serve people. So when they were serving people, people made them leaders. Therefore, my dear brothers and sisters, learn. And please learn and please keep on learning from the example of Rasul Sallallahu. But learn it the right way. Learn the right way. Learn the comprehensive message from the life of Rasul Sallallahu. Not learn something that is just confined to your salah only. Along with salah, learn what Rasulullah did in politics, what Rasulullah did in his social life. Right? And I would like to end here by quoting that famous hadith of our Rasul. And I always wish that every Muslim should have this in front of him or her, because Rasulullah told us how can we become beloved to Allah and how we can become beloved to the people at large. Very easy. The hadith is, Rasulullah said, Khairun nas may yanfa'un nas. Khairun nas may yanfa'un nas. That's it. Simple. Rasulullah said, best amongst you is that person who is providing the maximum benefit to the people. When you are providing maximum benefit to the people, you are the best person in the eyes of Allah, and people will love you because they see that you are not there to ask anything from them. You are there to give them something. And a person who begs, nobody likes him. A person who gives, people love him. So you as a Muslim, when you will learn how to give, how to provide benefits to the people at large will love you. This is why Rasulullah said, not Muslims. Khayrun nas man yanfa'un nas. An-nas means what? The people. So here Rasulullah is not confining it to Muslims only. But he is saying that go and benefit the people at large. And you'll see that people will love you and Allah will love you. Right? So, my dear brothers and sisters, look and learn from the Uswa Hasana of Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Please be a good Muslim. Pray 5 times Salah. Come to your masjid on a regular basis. But along with it, get involved. Get involved in local politics. Get involved socially. Be a productive member of your community. This is the message that we learn from the beautiful example of our Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help you and me understand these. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanaka Allah bihamdik. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.